What's up, everybody? My name is Kyron Chase, and I'm joined by the James Ellsworth and my Dean Ambrose, my brother Kyrie Sherrod. And today, this is not a prediction video, but by the way, and once again, brother heavyweight champion Kyron Chase. This is a prediction video that will come out Wednesday. But we are gonna, since the Royal Rumble is a week from Sunday, we thought, you know what, let's do this unscripted video. Our favorite Royal Rumble moments and matches. And because me and Kyrie, I'm 16 and he's only 10, most of these will be from the last decade or so because, you know, we weren't around in the 90s and 80s to see a lot. And so these aren't just Royal Rumble matches, like inside the Royal Rumble matches, also matches on the pay-per-view itself. So Kyrie, you want to start off any Royal Rumble moments or matches you want to, you remember, some, yeah?
AJ Styles.
Of course, AJ Styles debut last year, which was the moment of the night. But I guess I'll say one of my start off Royal Rumble match from the Royal Rumble I really like was in 2003 between Chris Benoit and Kurt Angle. That match, in terms, and speaking of which, Kurt Angle is probably one of my top 3 favorite wrestlers of all time, and him going to the Hall of Fame, I'm so happy about. And but that match with him and Chris Benoit, in my honest opinion, the 2 best technical wrestlers in WWE at the time, and definitely 2 of the best technical wrestlers of all time. If you haven't seen that match, do yourself a favor and go watch it. You'll enjoy it. That's definitely one. In terms of matches, that's one of my favorite Royal Rumble matches I've ever seen. In terms of on the pay-per-view itself. Other moments. Now this is more of a personal. Was when in the 2000. I got a few things from 2000. 2 things from 2005. One, a segment was when Eddie Guerrero stole Ric Flair's Royal Rumble number. Basically, Rick and Eddie had both drawn numbers at the same time. And Eddie was number, I believe Eddie was 2 and Rick was 30 or 29, something like that. And Eddie hugged Rick. And when Rick showed his number to Theodore Long, Eric Bischoff, and Torrie Wilson, he realized Eddie stole his number. And the whole segment from Rick, Guerrero stole my number. And when Evolution almost jumped Eddie, that was definitely one of my favorite segments. Even it's been 11, 12, going on 12 years later, that's still one of my personal favorite moments.
David Siege.
Another moment I really liked from that same Royal Rumble was inside that match, and that same year was in a Royal Rumble 2005 match when the final 2 were John Cena and Batista. Little did we know at the time that these would be going to be the 2 men who would pretty much carry the company for the next few years. And it all started really at that Royal Rumble. Now, this was before John Cena became my favorite wrestler, but I still rooted for him over Batista because Batista was still a heel, so I wanted John to win. And those 2 going over the top rope at the same time, we didn't know what was happening, and little we didn't know that was unscripted. Batista was supposed to hold on to the ropes, but they both fell over. And if you rewatch that clip, Batista's feet hit the floor before John's. Now that's something that you really had to look at closely, but from what I've seen, Batista's feet really hit the ground first. Maybe it's because he's taller, but still. And then Vince McMahon came out furious.
Me who don't have no earphones?
No, neither one of us wearing earphones.
I say who don't have some earphones?
Him.
Come here, Kyrie. See if these work on your phone. I found these.
And Vince came out completely like he about to blow a fuse and hit his knee on the apron. And when he tried to step into the ring, he literally fell because he tore both his quads. Kevin Nash tips his hat off to you, Vince. Kevin Nash tips his hat to you, Vince.
Did you bring my cord down here yesterday morning? I know you did.
I said that. Because and then they restarted and Batista ended up winning. Even though they both and like I said, we didn't know these were going to be the 2 men who would carry the WWE. Now whatever favorite matches or moments from Royal Rumble. Like I said, this video probably would have been better if I scripted it because I'm just going up the top. I want to save my favorite moment for last, so I'm trying to save that for last. You know what it is. Don't even think about saying it. Kyrie. Anyway, going back, I guess next would probably another moment was 2010 when Edge returned. Now a lot of people said this was shocking. Granted, I didn't get to see Royal Rumble live, but I actually called this. I actually called it that Edge would come back and win the Royal Rumble. This is before I started doing prediction videos, obviously, and this is before I became as smart as I am now. But I had a feeling Edge was coming back, and he came back that night. Granted, I can't really give you any emotional moments because I didn't see that one live. 2010 was the first Rumble really since '06 I didn't see live. And '06 I really can't talk about because once again didn't watch it live.
I don't know nothing about that Rumble. All I know is that Ray won from number 2.
You weren't born yet.
I was born.
You were born in March of 2006. That happened in January 2006. You weren't born yet.
Well, I was named.
What else? Any other favorite? Kyrie, you mean tell me you don't have any matches that you really like that happen at Royal Rumble pay-per-views?
Well, I really like Bray Wyatt versus Daniel Bryan.
And that was the only good thing from Royal Rumble 2014 because that whole pay-per-view really
sucked.
sucked.
One of my favorite Royal Rumbles in 2011. No, I got a specific reason. That was the first match I ever watched in WWE.
Yeah, that's the first pay-per-view you ever watched.
That was the first match I ever watched. I have 2 favorite moments in that Rumble. One, the John Morrison one will always be cool.
Oh, when he walked,
Caught it on a barricade.
And walked on the barricade, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And what else?
When John Cena came out and fought the Nexus. Because that was when I first started watching it, and John Cena was really all I knew.
Because of me.
Because of him. And I thought John was about to get beat up and get thrown out. And I was kind of scared. I didn't know what was about to happen. And that's why.
Looking back at it in hindsight, that may not have been the best idea to do. But another moment, and anyone that saw my Rumble review from 2 years ago and my top 10 favorite matches of 2015 knew this was coming up. John Cena, Brock Lesnar, and Seth Rollins.
Oh yeah, I have to get that.
If you saw my review, hopefully you didn't, but go watch it. It's the video I'm least proud of because of how I reviewed the Royal Rumble. Everyone hated that pay-per-view minus the triple threat. That triple threat match was downright awesome. It was the match that made me a Brock Lesnar fan for the time, not anymore. The match that officially made me a Seth Rollins fan. Even I thought he was great, but that was the match that made me a fan. And John Cena is my favorite wrestler, so that. And I remember going into. I wasn't really happy about Rollins being added because I just wanted to be Cena and Brock because it was a blow off. Thank God Seth got added to that match because if Seth wasn't, that match would not have been that good, and the Philly crowd would have probably crapped all over like he did everything else.
I also like 2012 and 2013, 2014 Kofi Kingston.
Let's see. 2012 was the handstand. 2013 was the pogo stick with the chair, and 2014 was when he walked on the barricade and jumped up the barricade. Now another one I'm gonna get to, and
the best one was 2013, the pogo stick.
Handstand for walking on his hands for me. This is my favorite Royal Rumble ending of all time. Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker in 2007. Let me set the stage. I am a 6-year-old watching this pay-per-view. These are 2 of my favorite wrestlers not named John Cena. These are my 2 favorite wrestlers not named John Cena or Batista.
You like Batista?
Yeah. And after eliminating Radar RKO, Shawn and Undertaker would battle for the next, I believe it went 10 minutes. 2 great, and I was rooting for Shawn. I always thought Shawn was gonna win. It was in his home. It was in his hometown. But at the same time, looking back, it's good Undertaker won because at that point he had never won a Royal Rumble. Shawn already won 2, so I really wanted Shawn to win, but Undertaker won, and I love Undertaker too, so I wasn't mad about that. And little we know, this is actually a short preview to what would happen 2 years later at WrestleMania. Who knew? Any other great matches that happened on the Royal Rumble? There's a lot more. The Rock versus Mankind, I Quit match. That's a match I wouldn't recommend showing small kids because it gets pretty brutal. Heck, Mick Foley's wife and kids were in that arena, and they actually had to walk out because of how brutal the match was.
You did?
Yeah, he took 13. You never saw the I Quit match between The Rock and Mick Foley? Basically,
Rock.
Basically, let's get to the word part. He handcuffed Mick Foley, and Mick took 13 unprotected head shots with the steel chair.
Headshot?
Yes, Lily, 13 unprotected shots to the head. And Lily, his head was split open. And the worst thing is, despite...
Isn't that the match when Rock act like Mick said I quit with the speaker?
Yes, it is. And despite what everyone says, I would be honest. I think this was probably the most brutal thing that one of the most brutal things that happened to Mick Foley. I would argue that what happened to him in that match was more brutal than what happened to him in the cell match against The Undertaker. I'll be completely honest when I say that.
I'm gonna watch it after this.
Any other great? Now I really want to say what I have for last because if you probably could guess what my favorite Royal Rumble moment of all time is, but
he's a John Cena fan.
Well, thanks for saying that, Kyrie.
They already knew he was a Cena fan.
Let's see. Well, let me go through. Like 1992, everyone will argue is probably the greatest Royal Rumble of all time. Granted, I've never completely seen it in its entirety, but the lineup of All Stars in that, putting the fact that WWE titles on the line, you have Hulk Hogan, Shawn Michaels, The Undertaker, Macho Man Randy Savage, Ric Flair, Sergeant Slaughter, Terry Taylor. As a Texas Tornado, I believe it's Terry Taylor's Texas Tornado. Jake Roberts, Roddy Piper. Just the all-star lineup. Sid Justice. The all-star lineup of people in that match makes it one of the best. And Bobby Heenan on commentary was great as well. And the way Ric Flair.
I should have got some ranch.
I don't care about your seeds. Ric Flair won the crowd over the way he was and being an Iron Man. I would bring up one of Shawn Michaels' victories, but one, I wasn't born for neither one of them. And two, both the 95 and 96 Royal Rumbles, besides Shawn winning, are some of the most untalked about Royal Rumbles in history. 95.
God hate on Shawn.
This isn't me hating on Shawn, Kyrie. This is me using actual logic. 1995, all I know is that Shawn ended number 1, British Bulldog ended number 2, and they were the last two. And it was the shortest Royal Rumble of all time from what I've been told. In 96, I don't know anything about.
And I never heard of that before.
In 1996, I know Shawn won, but that's all I know about the 96 Royal Rumble.
95, I knew that British was at 1.
Shawn was 2. No, Shawn was 1.
Shawn was 1. British was 2.
And
Shawn had the one foot.
Any other moments? I'm just like going through the years. 97, Stone Cold, his performance. 98, anything happened, Stone Cold won again. 99, the stuff with Vince and Stone Cold. None of these are really moments I really love. 2000, I'm glad I brought this up. That street fight between Triple H and Cactus Jack, that's one of my favorite matches. The amount of blood Triple H lost, not just from his face, but from the gash in his leg. That's the match I think really cement, every wrestler has that match that makes them a star. This was that match for Triple H. Mick Foley helped Triple H really look good and really helped solidify Triple H because Triple H was a top guy, but he wasn't there yet. Every wrestler had that match that makes them a star. Shawn Michaels had the ladder match against Razor Ramon. John Cena had, in my personal opinion, either his WrestleMania 22 match with Triple H or his WrestleMania match with Shawn Michaels. Those are the matches that make you a star, and this was the one for Triple H. 2001, that ladder match between ladder match between Jericho and Benoit is really underrated, and I know why it doesn't get talked about because of Benoit. You said you had one, Kyrie?
I just forgot.
2002, Triple H had to come back from a quad injury, winning, great. 2003, I already brought up my favorite moment. 2004.
Oh yeah, I don't remember what Rumble it was. I don't know if it was 12 or 13. It was Kane versus John Cena.
12? That match was terrible.
I like it.
To each his own. 2004, the last match between Triple H and Shawn Michaels was good. Granted,
it's Triple H and Shawn Michaels.
I think it did. I don't remember a lot from it besides the way it ended. 2 moments and this is mainly because I played in the showcase mode. How I remember one when Shawn, I believe Shawn tried to go for a moonsault. And he went through the table. That was pretty sick. And the fact that neither one won, they couldn't answer the 10 count. That I remember. I actually remember watching that. Being 3 years old, remember watching that so mad because I really wanted Shawn to win. But of course, this went on for Chris Benoit to win the Royal Rumble later that night. Something WWE's not going to bring up, but I have no problem mentioning Chris Benoit. I will continue to do so. 2005, I already brought up.
Brett eliminated Stone Cold, but he got back in the ring.
97. Speaking of 97, that's actually where Royal Rumble will be this year. 20 years ago, it was in the Alamo Dome. This year's going to be in the Alamo Dome. 1990.
I'm gonna watch old wrestling now.
Mm.
It makes me want to watch old wrestling.
2007. 2009. 2009 is actually a really underrated Royal Rumble. Not just the Royal Rumble in general, the match itself, but the pay-per-view. 2009 Royal Rumble was actually a really good pay-per-view. And I just watched Christian Miracle's WWE Sins on it, and you know what? It was a good pay-per-view to watch. Beth Phoenix Melina, it was actually a lot better. It was all right. And the way Beth was bending her knee and hitting her in the head with her own foot, that was pretty. That looked like it hurt. And you know, Melina's very flexible, but still, that I remember watching that even when I was young. Like, ow. Jeff Hardy and Edge. Hold on, I'm gonna let you talk. Jeff Hardy and Edge. In that no disqualification match, the way Matt Hardy turned on Jeff, I will never forget how angry I was when that happened. And the way Jeff took that shot to the head with the chair, well, that was pretty sick. John Cena and JBL wasn't that good of a match, but told a great story with Shawn being on the outside. That was a cool spot. That was interesting. You know, when Shawn kicked JBL and then kicked John Cena and put JBL on top of John, I was so mad at Shawn Michaels for that. But John still won the match. Now, before I get to my favorite moment, now that's probably some more matches and moments I haven't brought up yet. But before I get to my number one moment, Kyrie, you got anything else to say?
2008
The way it started, speaking of 08 Rumble.
Can I say something? Ric Flair versus
MVP.
Now the match was okay, but the reason I like it is because it led up to Shawn versus Ric Flair at WrestleMania. And that will always be one of my favorites. Matter of fact, it's in my top 3 favorite WrestleMania matches.
I wouldn't go that far to put a top 3, but I love it too.
My favorite.
2008. Before one thing about 2008 I really like is when I remember when the Royal Rumble first started. I told my mom it'd be cool if Undertaker and Shawn Michaels started it because they ended it last year, and that's exactly what happened. And unlike 2016, where they didn't even make a big deal about Rusev and Roman starting, even though they ended it, they actually made a big deal of this because of how it ended in 2007. But let's get on to the best moment. Let's set the stage. 2008 Royal Rumble, number 30. The clock is counting down, and when the clock goes off, John Cena's music hit. The Madison Square Garden crowd erupted. That's still probably one of the biggest ovations John's ever gotten. And if you can look, if 7-year-old me completely lost his mind because John Cena officially became my favorite wrestler. And when he got hurt with his injury to his pectoral muscle, it broke my heart. I'm not gonna lie, it really broke me because I was just a 7-year-old kid. And when I heard he's gonna probably miss the Royal Rumble and might even miss WrestleMania, I was down on that. And then when his music hit in 2008, I completely screamed because I got to see my hero was back that early, and he ended up winning the Royal Rumble. This will always be my favorite Royal Rumble moment. Because of personal reasons, and because that's the biggest ovation John's ever gotten, if you ask me. Because nobody expected it. Now, when he won the Royal Rumble in 2013, it's pretty obvious he was going to win the Royal Rumble. But nobody thought he was coming back because this before I was online, but no one even had him winning.
I didn't care for Rock and Cena at 29. For real.
Well, anyway, next time we see us, we will be doing the Royal Rumble prediction video for this year. My name is Kyron Chase. He's Kyrie Sherrod, and we will see you guys next time.